Tonight, Thomas Lathley, gathering that we have. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Give the Lord a hand of praise. Okay? We may be seated. It's hot and we are here. I don't know what's happening in the Eastern Cape because temperatures were not so high in our beloved province. We always have rain. I don't know whether my wife did speak to them now. Is it raining? Oh, good. This is a wonderful time that we have here, Bazara. And some of the things we did expect that we're going to hear and some not. But nevertheless, we are here by God's grace. And God has made it possible for us to be exposed to the truth that we are hearing in this platform. I visited this verse again where we normally quote Proverbs 23 verse 7, where people will just go to B and say, as a man thinketh, so is he. But if you read it from the beginning, it says, do not eat the bread of a miser. Because what it thinks, when it says it, this is not what he's saying in his heart. He says eat and drink, but his heart is far away from that. You know, it's trying to say, look at this glutton who has come to eat my food here. But the qualifying verse where we like it most, as a man thinketh, so is he. It becomes a principle to us as the children of the Lord. How many of you have been exposed to my teaching of making us understanding the dangers of pornography? Those who have been with me for years, have played videos, dangers of porn, and all those things. From way back, from Yanda, KZN, were you there? Iland? Kwakudala nje Yanda. Kashayela isandla Yanda. Praise God. So Yanda knows exactly what we have been talking about. Because I just want to bring a summary so that I go straight to the topic. And it's also a blessing for us to have overlapped to this session. Spot, because it's hot. And some of you are going to faint there and don't have enough medical personnel. So but we are going. There we played some videos of the porn addicts explaining the negative effects of porn, of those who entertained themselves with pornography. And some of them, besides the one that last time we spoke about, they strangled women. We explained because this time around I'm not there, but for the sake of those who have not been part of us previously. these guys said when you watch porn, and they started telling us how this whole thing started. You know, not in these days, in our days, I'm sure no like we used to do what we call your blow manga says shop, mama shopping. Yeah, come on, your blow man. Yeah, I am sure go to what's basically so siyabloma. Yeah, uma ubloma pha kujonga into eninzi. Amantombazana ayathunyelwa othenga nikhona. But you're not doing, one thing. There are also some things that you learn there. Playing cards, you find, it's not just ordinary playing cards. They have pictures of pornography. You come across those things, yeah. You see, and you begin to hide. You're not going to tell that at all. So these people that were involved and addicted, excuse me, in porn, they tell such stories how this thing all started. It was just fun. Yeah, in those days when we were young. SK said when you are 20 years, 16, whatever, boys are playing. They don't have anything about marrying. Look into the future. So some of them ended up being victims of that porn. How? That's the only question. Because they were saying, confessing. When you watch porn, I'm trying to summarize that. Especially in those days, it was mainly men who were so obsessed with a porn of watching how men would sleep with women. So in these days, it's not about that. Like porn, females are also addicts now. Research, I'm not going to go there and about it's both. There are sites now for females and sites for males. So men would say, you watch it up until a woman does not have a value of being a woman where you can have a relationship with her. Every time you look at a woman, you look at a sex object. So she becomes that object up until some of them, if you read the stories of porn, it's just that we always look at the side that want to satisfy us. We don't want to look at the dark side. So they would say, some of them, when they would kill women, they would have sex with them. After that, they take a sharp object and begin to stab their vaginas. Because to them, it's no longer a relationship. OSK has told us a lot of things. In the morning. I was so glad I was saying that to my wife. It has actually laid the foundation of what we've been talking about. So yeah, so the story of Ted, which most of us were in Grabo, we watched the story. Ted grew up as a young boy, the only boy in the family. And with sisters, wonderful family. But also with Ted, it started there, now, continued unabated, up until Ted killed 12 women, strangled them, had sex with them, violent sex. We spoke about it last time. Because when you watch porn, you begin to adopt that thing. I don't know how to call it demonic because not in preach. anger of just looking at this woman. You want to, because that's what porn does to a human being. I'm so addicted. So, Ted said, this is exactly what happened with me. How I killed those women. How did we come to know about this story? He invited this psychologist, Dr. James Dobbins. We always hear about, him ministering at Link FM, Eastern Cape. Told the story, and he said he got saved, got born again in prison. And he was sentenced to death, capital punishment, death sentence. And Ted said, I would not love to go to die without telling the truth about what is it about porn. How dangerous it is for people to watch it. Because I'm where I am because of what pornography did to my life. So, he told the story, warning everybody that this is exactly what would happen to the young boys and whatever. Why are we here today? Also, we're here to become religious here. I think also this religious in the sense that we try to make church. This is a move. We have come to share the truth with you, and so that you can make right choices if you want to become somebody in life. At some point, and at the same time, we have not come to tell lies here. I was never a porn addict, but I was exposed to pornography. And I need to share that. I think I need to talk about it. And I'm not talking about something that I do not know. Then I got married. Then because I was an insurance award winner, I'm going to call it that way. So I would travel. So we were at Sunset with my wife. We were told that there's entertainment. Come evening, go to the hall. And immediately when we were there, it was porn. We could not resist that. We just said, no, let's get out. Let's pull them up. Because we felt that this is not natural. SK mentioned something that it's natural. Never even think that there's a time that you need to be taught about it. Dr. Armanas always say that I married as a virgin. And nobody taught me that who is this next to you. It was Numisa next to her, and they have children. And because it's natural. So, at some point I was exposed as a young person to that, but there was this thing that says, not again. And whenever I was exposed with that group, I would not go again. And I guess the Lord saved me that. Because when I told those who watch, the young people, I want to concur and agree with Ted that every time you look at a woman when you watch pornography, it's sex object. She becomes a sex object. That is why we have no relationship that lasts. And one of the things that we said to young people, that there's a time you are not going to remain, I think that was mentioned also, remain a teenager. You are growing. And what you are now, there is no possibility that you are going to change and be something else when we are at the point of getting married. Hello? So, and one of the things in that point that I mentioned was that Pornography, the people that are watching the pornography, it makes them to be lazy in terms of a romance when they have their partners. It promotes masturbation. And you think that people are masturbation now, it's all over. Women, male, everybody. Oh, at the gym, Pateta, they are open. Young girls, they don't even care that we're adults with my wife. They're in the steam room. One was complaining, my sex object got broken. It is not, there are no stories now where you can hide. Now what you know what's happened, you think about, you can do it like CIA's yonke. And there was a program, it was talking about restoration, it's on television, restoration of relationships. So I followed up this program and I thought it was a good program. Up until there was a point this so-called psychologist or therapist was encouraging this, that one of the things that you must buy is sex objects so that you keep your relationship warm. So, all these things are there in the list that OSK has mentioned of the agenda of the N.N. They are there. Because that was portrayed by media. It's still there, a program of that, water please, of that program. So it makes people to be lazy to have a physical relationship with a person. Because why spend so much time? Because you will learn these things that, in fact, as N.N says, that before you have sex with somebody, you have to warm up with somebody and prepare yourself that you are going to engage yourself to this. So in pornography, it says, now, man, if I watch it, then I just go to the toilet and masturbate. Then it's finished. So it has become a source of destroying marriages. And whether male or female. Huh? What? Huh? I'm going to learn that today. So, now, so I'm just touching that because there are people who have never been exposed to that teaching. So we've just mentioned those things. So you don't want to become a strangler. You don't want to kill women. You don't want, when you get married, to have somebody like a sex object. If you are finished, you don't want to kill. I don't care about you, whether whatever you think. You want to have a relationship. A relationship is more than sex. Sex, it has just happened to be part of it. But 90% of a relationship, a good one. And when you grow, you just enjoy each other's presence. Hello? Hello? But then we'll see a little bit. Time we're going to be talking about, explaining about dopamine and all those things that are going to be, we show there. He pictures. Give him Mike. Because some of those things, I'm going to be talking about the digital cocaine. So I'll play around two things, video gaming and pornography. So I was prepared. But before we do that, the other one, the video clip. Let's play that video clip a little bit, and then guess this or I'm on team. See, we pick this quickly. Angeke sibonakalise into wrong apha tu asiyenze la. Niyabona ngapha. Okay. Mhlawumbe manje
Have you ever heard someone joke about being addicted to chocolate? Unfortunately, the reality of addiction is no joke. An addiction can be to a substance, like drugs or alcohol, or to a behavior, like playing video games. So what is the difference between really liking something and being addicted? The difference lies in three main things: obsessive thoughts, feeling like you can't stop, and continuing to use or do that substance or behavior despite having negative consequences. Meet Tony. He really likes video games and plays them every day. At first, he kept up with his grades, but started doing less of his homework. Then, he started staying up later and later to play. This caused him to be exhausted at school. When his parents tried to get him to stop playing so much, Tony got very angry, which wasn't like him. He started skipping school, so Tony's parents had him talk to a counselor. He didn't want to at first, but things slowly started getting better. The real Tony returned when he got some balance back in his life and reconnected with those around him. So how does someone become addicted? Why can't they just stop? Sometimes a person starts using a substance or behavior to fit in. Other times, it's to ease the pain from a traumatic experience or mental health issues. It also has to do with how the brain works. When you do something that feels good or exciting, like eating ice cream, the pleasure pathways in your brain are activated and feel-good chemicals are released. This same pleasure pathway is activated when you consume drugs or alcohol. Over time, the pathways in your brain get used to having this thing in your life, which can make it really hard to stop. If you feel like you just can't stop doing something, you're not alone. With the help of a counselor, you can begin to work to get your brain back from being hijacked. It will take time for your brain to create new pathways, but you can get back on track and find some peace in your life.
Ja, let's give the Lord a big hand of praise.
This program is brought to you in partnership with the Bush Christian Campsite, located in Coleridge, about 5 kilometers from the East London Airport. Enjoy our outdoor gym facility with nature as your backdrop. The campsite exhibits nature's beauty and is the perfect getaway for visitors seeking peace and serenity. Enjoy our conference and intimate wedding facilities and host your life's special events. Delight in our wonderful self-catering chalets built with absolute comfort and enjoy your home away from home. Entertain the little ones in the kiddie zones. Host kiddies' birthday parties and fun activities for them to enjoy all day long. Come dine with us in our dining area and relax in our swimming pool area as well. Leisure in one of many recreational areas on the site. Catch up with friends and loved ones over a cup of coffee in our coffee shop. The Bush Christian Campsite, a home away from home.